Okay, lifestyle design 101. How to build your own career from scratch. Lifestyle design. How to build your own career from scratch. That is what we're going to talk about today. But first, please send me your validation so that I can inhale it into my nostrils and down to the depths of my soul. Send said validation by subscribing to the YouTube channel. Hit the little notification bell so that you can get brand new videos the moment they come out. All other platforms, please like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. Anybody who might benefit from the content I am providing you. Okay, lifestyle design. What is lifestyle design? It's a term coined by Tim Ferriss, author of the 4-Hour Workweek, very famous self-help business book. And the whole idea behind lifestyle design is being able to take the things you already know, the experience you have, or building certain skill sets to design a life where you're able to have your own career and have your own freedom, have your own autonomy, right? This is often referred to as the laptop entrepreneur, or basically anyone who can set up their life and business in a way where they don't have to be at a certain place at a certain time always to be successful at what they're doing. You know, ideas like passive income fall under the bucket of lifestyle design. You know, if you are a freelancer, you could be considered in the lifestyle design bucket. Even though your income is tied to your effort, you can still raise your rates. You can still get more rewards for your effort. Basically, any kind of career you put together where it's unique 100% to you, and you don't feel like you're doing something that you have to do, or something that you hate, or something that you tolerate, right? So that's what we're all trying to figure out. Everyone wants to quit their job and start their own business. Everyone wants to quit their job and start their own creative career, but it's not as easy as it looks. Not even close. You know, I actually just had a comment on my blog, it's like yesterday, and the guy was like, you know what? That's great for you, Ayo. It's great that you figured out how to become a writer, but, you know, this is just not feasible for 0.000001 of all people. Or he said that it is feasible for that amount of people, but that for everyone else it isn't. And he talked about the fact, he's like, I'm in $50,000 of student loans. I have $37,000 in medical bills. You know, I have this job that I'm working at. I don't have time. I can't, I have, the circumstances don't allow for me to live this sort of lifestyle design lifestyle. And I kind of laughed and chuckled in my head because I have $70,000 in student debt. I have medical bills too. I have all these similar circumstances. And I was in a position where I was in debt. I was broke. I had a job that was okay, but I didn't love. But I still managed to figure out this whole lifestyle design concept. I figured out how to take a talent that I had for writing and turn it into something that could make me an income. And so the first step in building your own career from scratch is to stop making excuses for yourself. Everyone has excuses for why they can't be successful, and everyone on planet Earth has a counter example for why they are wrong. So what do I mean by this? You know, a lot of people will talk about how their situation is so unique, how their problems are so idiosyncratic that they could not manage to build their own career from scratch. But I know people in all walks of life, races, religions, abilities, or disabilities, who have managed to figure out this lifestyle design concept, doing the things you really want to do. I have a friend, her name is Shannon. She's a fellow writer on medium.com. She was working for $10 an hour as a social media consultant at this company. She's a single mother. And, this is definitely someone who didn't necessarily have a ton of time to work on her side hustle. Didn't have a ton of time to design her life, so to speak. But guess what she did? She carved out spare time to focus on becoming a writer. And within 8 months, she quit her job and was making a full-time living as a writer to the tune of 6 figures. Now, is her story an anomaly? Yes. Yes, it is an anomaly. But you have to begin to think of yourself as an anomaly if you are going to want to pull this off. Granted, you probably won't pull it off in 8 months, but in general, you want to have the mindset that you are an anomaly. Yes, all these books come out every year. Self-help books, business books, lifestyle design books, figure out how to start your own business, start your own career. The possibilities are available in abundance, but you still have to be the one to do it. I saw this quote somewhere and it said, starting a business has never been easier and starting a business has never been harder. And that perfectly encapsulates what it's like to want to pull these things off. Like, anyone can open up their camera and start their YouTube channel. Anyone can do it, but it's hard. It's tough. You know, this channel is just now going to be crossing the threshold for monetization. I didn't even know that when I started the channel, that you need to have 4,000 watch hours in order to monetize your channel. I will have crossed that threshold probably by the time this video is published or within the next week or so after that. And it took me almost a year. It took me almost a year of consistently shooting videos. Shotten's not a word. I have up to 110 videos now, I believe. And I've been doing it at a consistent rate. To build my writing career, I wrote every single day for a half decade. So yes, if you want to make it to the top, you're going to have to figure out how to build some level of discipline. And you can do these side projects and side hustles on the side and carve out time, an hour or two a day, to build this dream. That's all it really takes. See, the amount of time that it takes to get something off the ground to where you can begin making passive income, yes, it takes time, but each individual time frame isn't that long. An hour or two a day doing your writing isn't that long. An hour or two a day shooting your video isn't that long. An hour or two a day doing your podcast isn't that long. An hour or two a day putting together your portfolio and pitching clients isn't that long. But you have to get rid of this, special snowflake syndrome to where you believe that you're incapable of doing this because you have some unique situation. You don't. I've talked about this many, many times. My blogging mentor, John Morrow, is paralyzed from the neck down. He has a rare disease to where most people don't even make it into their 20s. Most people die in childhood with the disease he has, but he's now in his mid-30s, one of the oldest living survivors of his disease, and he runs a multi-million-dollar blogging company. Bushra Azar, she's a woman who started a website called Persuasion Revolution, where she teaches marketing tactics. She's a woman living in Saudi Arabia. A woman living in Saudi Arabia, where I believe they just now allowed women to start driving. She made a 7-figure online business living in that climate, in that environment. There's people of all walks of life. There's people with all sorts of financial situations. I even once read a story about this guy who was living in his car, and he would work on his online business at night with his daughter sleeping in the car by parking in the parking lot next to Barnes & Noble's so that he could use the free Wi-Fi and get close enough to the radius of the Wi-Fi for him to start working on his business. There's more than enough opportunities out there. So if you want to be successful at this, do the steps that I talk about in all of my videos. Step number 1, find your strengths. Focus on what you are good at. There is a PDF that you can get below. If you click on the link, there's going to be a free guide. And when you sign up to my email list, you'll get a free guide that shows you exactly how to find your natural talents and strengths. So go ahead and do that. And then stick in that lane long enough until you become successful. You would be surprised. Like, if you consistently learned the ins and outs of the platforms that you were trying to use for your lifestyle design career project, you can be successful. Like YouTube, yeah, it's not enough to just shoot videos. You have to learn how to work the YouTube algorithm, put keywords in, shoot the type of videos people want to watch, keep retention, use thumbnails to get click-through rates, use compelling titles to get click-through rates. Yes, if you want to sell your art on Etsy, you're going to have to learn the Etsy algorithm. You're going to have to learn how to build your own fan base. You're going to have to learn how to use social media. You're going to have to learn how to use hashtags. You're going to have to learn how to write copy. You're going to have to learn persuasion. You're going to have to learn the ins and outs of whatever. If it's Shopify, you got to learn the ins and outs of finding suppliers. You have to get on the phone and call someone, maybe from another country, and negotiate a deal with them. Yes, you're going to have to do these things up front. You're going to have to front load the work. And that's the key component of a lifestyle design business, is you have to front load the work, meaning that you're going to do a lot of work up front that is not going to pay off right away. I made essentially no money from year 0 to year 3 in my writing career, but now it's paid off on the back end. I'm shooting 110 videos without making any money, but those are going to pay off on the back end. A little monetization money will come in. There's products that I promote in the descriptions that people can buy. So that creates a passive income vehicle. So you want to take enough time to understand these platforms, and then the next thing that you want to do is focus on what I continue to talk about in this challenge or this channel: leverage and exponential growth. Always leverage, always exponential growth. You want to create an income vehicle that can exist with or without your effort. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to have totally passive income, this idea where you're just going to sit back and there's just going to be checks rolling in. No, that's not how passive income works. I have products for sale, books that you should go check out in the description, by the way, if you haven't already. Don't know what you're doing if you haven't, but I have books. So I create these books one time and they continue to make money over and over again, right? And then I still do additional marketing tactics to help the books become successful. I shoot videos and put links in the description. I run ads on Amazon. I have email sequences where someone signs up for my email list, and then a couple emails later I say, hey, there's this book. I do SEO for my websites, search engine optimization, which helps my website appear on Google for different phrases to where my website has books available for sale, right? So whatever it is you're choosing, whether it's putting art online, whether it's intellectual property like books, whether you want to run a coaching service, whether you want to be a freelancer, all of these things are doable, but you have to put in the work. And if you're looking for a practical recommendation, go onto Google and literally look up how to start an online business. And there are amazing resources on how to start an online business. Like a lot of people, for SEO reasons, you have to create really in-depth guides in order to rank highly for something like how to start an online business. So if you Google how to start an online business, you're going to see some of the most thorough documentation on step-by-step processes that you can use to start a business. If you want to be a blogger and you type in how to start blogging, you're going to see in-depth resources. So there's free in-depth resources online via Google. There's free in-depth resources online via YouTube. And then there are paid resources that will help you accelerate your growth. That's one of the things that helped me accelerate my growth, helped me build this lifestyle design business, so to speak, is I bought courses. So I tried to write a book on my own and I was bumping my head against the wall. I didn't know how to put it together. I signed up for a course called Self-Publishing School by Chandler Bolt, and it walked me through step by step, shortened my learning curve. Yes, I could have spent a ton of time trying to figure out how to do it on my own. But instead, I went to somebody who had a successful resource already available, and I learned how to be successful by following his process. John Morrow, who I talked about before, I was beginning to get kind of good at blogging, but I wanted to accelerate my progress. So I figured out, sign up for this course. It taught me a ton about blogging that I didn't know, information that I could have found for free and cobbled together over a long period of time, which would have made me successful, but it would have taken longer. So find ways to shortcut the system. And then you collect new information along the way. You get better along the way. You have to take this as a gradual process. Too many people get so riled up. You know, they start their podcast. They're like, oh, all right, here we go. Episode number 1, episode number 2. Don't be excited about episode number 1 and number 2. Just get them out there. Don't be excited about blog post number 1 and number 2. Just get it out there. You know, when I first started writing, the difference between me and most people is I didn't have delusions of grandeur when I first started. I was just happy to get something down on the page. I told this story over and over again. A friend asked me to write for his website, and it's just like, the first time I wrote something, I was like, wow, the reward was just writing the post. So I just wrote another one and another one and another one. I didn't plan this whole big online business thing right away. And that's one of the key concepts you should understand from lifestyle design businesses, is that it's called lifestyle design because it's catered to your life. It's catered to things you like, you are naturally predisposed to doing. It shouldn't be so incredibly difficult of a slog. It should be based on things that you like to do. If you like to cook, you can start a cooking YouTube channel and have recipe books for sale. If you like fitness, you can become a fitness coach. If you are obsessed with personal finance and numbers, you can be a personal finance advisor with products and courses and all these sorts of things like that. If you like, I'll give you a crazy example. When I was working at a digital marketing company, one of our clients, they sold toy soldiers, rare toy soldiers. And these little miniature toy soldiers would sell for like 4, sometimes 5 figures. And we helped them create passive elements to their business. We helped them with search engine optimization so that more people could find their toy soldiers. And these guys are making almost 8 figures a year selling miniature toy soldiers. Civil War reenactment dioramas that were selling for thousands of dollars. There's so many different ways. Baseball cards. And there's almost any activity you can think of can be translated into some sort of lifestyle design business. There's this guy who, he's good at basketball. I think his name is like Max is Nice. So he was really good at basketball, but he wasn't good enough to be in the NBA. But he was also really into humor. So guess what he did? He created this channel where he started doing impersonations of famous NBA players, where he copied all their mannerisms, and like they're really funny videos. Like if you're an NBA fan, like he'll do a reenactment of LeBron James, and you'll be like, oh, like that looks like LeBron, right? And so now he has a big channel that's growing off of that. He gets sponsorship deals. You know, he built an audience around something he loved, combined 2 passions, humor and basketball. Boom. There's so many examples that I could give. I could give a 2-hour-long video just giving examples of lifestyle businesses you could start. I've seen things about like voiceover actors, which is something I might do one day in a world where you start your side hustle. You know. Anyways, there's so many things you could do, but you just have to get started. Use the resource in this video. Use the Finding Your Strengths guide that is posted below in this video. Stop making excuses for yourself. That person who made comments on my blog post, they're making excuses for themselves. And I went to their profile, their Medium profile, to see what they were up to. Sporadic writing. And the last blog post they had published was, oh, my woes of not getting views on Medium. Woe is me. Woe is me. My life is so hard. I live in a first world country with access to the internet and more information than 10,000 Library of Alexandrias combined, a supercomputer the size of a credit card that fits in my pocket with access to billions of people at scale, but my life is so hard that I can't pull off this lifestyle business concept. Miss me with that BS. And that's the number one piece of advice I could give you. You have to stop BSing yourself. You have to stop BSing yourself. Yeah, it's going to be hard. If you want to be successful at a lifestyle business, you're going to be an exception to the rule. Most people, everyone gets fired up about starting online businesses until it's time to actually do it. It's hard. It's hard, not necessarily because the tasks themselves are so monumental, but because there are a series of very small and tiny tasks that you have to do. It's like, oh, I got to put up the website. I got to configure the website. I got to put together the email software. I have to configure the email software. I have to create the PDF to put with the email software. I have to put the products up. I have to find the products. I have to source the products. I have to negotiate for the products. I have to figure out how to price the products. I have to write descriptions for the products. I have to write descriptions for every product. I got to get traffic to the website. There's a lot of steps. But the funny thing is, most of the online business courses and guides, they actually work. They work. Everyone I've taken, I've never been scammed once. I've never been scammed on an online business course once. I've taken probably a dozen courses on things like blogging, online business, marketing. I have a business coach. Never been scammed once because I finished them. People always, oh, I've done half the steps or a quarter of the steps and now I want a refund because my online business didn't take off in 3 days. This is really the attitude of many people. Their time horizon and their level of discipline is that screwed up. So you got to be real with yourself. If you want to do this, just understand there's a simple equation. You can give up a couple of years of your life to have the rest of it back. You can give up weekends and you can give up sleeping in for a couple of years. That's basically all it is. It's giving up weekends, sometimes, not even all weekends. Like I always talk about the fact that if you woke up at 8 a.m., you could work from like 8 to 4 and still have an entire evening and late afternoon to enjoy your family and friends. Or even just 8 to noon, you'd still have like 12 hours left in the day to enjoy family and friends. And you might have to give up sleeping in. Probably have to wake up early. I'll link to my video here about morning routines. I talk about how I woke up at 5 a.m. every single day to get my writing career off the ground. And I never really loved it, but it was a useful means to an end. So that's what you have to decide. Are you going to continue to make short-term decisions? Failing to start your online business is a short-term decision. Going out, having drinks instead of working on your business is a short-term decision. Watching Netflix is a short-term decision. Not waking up early so you can sleep in and feel warm and fuzzy under your blanket, it's a short-term decision. And they get trapped in short-term decision-making all the time. You have to learn long-term decision-making, delayed gratification. Delay your gratification. And what you can do is slowly, with this lifestyle design concept, you can build a life that is exactly to you. My business is exactly to me. I'm doing the things that are exactly what I love. I love communication. I love writing. I love words. I love vocabulary. Everything I do in my life is structured around that. My day is structured around the things that I love to do. I love reading, so I put reading as part of my day. Education, learning, watching videos, podcasts is part of my day. Exercising, working out is a part of my day. Doing work, creative expression, it's a part of my day. So that's what the lifestyle design concept really is you're integrating everything in your life to not have any separation. You don't need work-life balance when everything you're doing is moving you in the direction of your purpose. You don't need balance. You don't need an escape. You don't need an outlet because everything is intertwined. And you just get to do it whatever you want. The goal isn't to stop working. Like I think a lot of people misunderstood books like The 4-Hour Workweek, and it was a great title. It was very catchy, but the goal isn't to not work at all. What Tim meant by the 4-Hour Workweek is that he probably spends 4 hours in a week doing things that he really doesn't want to do. He spends 4 hours in a week doing like managerial stuff that he doesn't want to do. In reality, Tim Ferriss works quite a bit. In reality, Tim Ferriss probably spends more time focusing on his business than we all do on our careers. But when it comes to the parts he doesn't like, that's only 4 hours a week. The rest of it is fun, so it's not work, right? It's like in my work week, writing the actual content's not work. Shooting the video, that's not work. But editing the tags for the video is work. Doing some of the little SEO optimization tactics is the work. Responding to customer emails is the work. Setting up the tech stuff is the work. So my work is very small. There's things I know I need to get done that are a means to an end to facilitate the business, but then the rest of it's actually fun. I have no stress making videos. I have no stress putting out content. So that's the goal of lifestyle design. Minimal time spent on doing minutia and managerial stuff, maximum time focusing on your life, your creativity, and your purpose. And if you are able to delay your gratification, use the benchmarks I talk about, 90-day sprint, and 90 days of straight, hardline, relentless, obsessive focus towards your project, make it to 6 months to a year. You're settled into a groove. Years 2, 3, 4, and 5, you'll exponentially grow until you'll have a vehicle that can help you sustain this lifestyle design concept for the rest of your life. That is the recipe. So get started today. Okay, real help. This book has an entire section on how to start your lifestyle design business, how to get everything off of the ground. Check that out. It's in the description below. Check out the link below. You'll get a free PDF that teaches you how to find your natural talent and strengths. Check out the links to my social media. There are all different social media channels, many of which I show behind the scenes access to my life, how I work, how I am able to produce content. If you want to see the real path that I take every day, follow my social media channels. Check out the stuff below. Maybe check out another video to continue getting inspiration. I will see you on the next video.